What's up? My name is Matt Martinez. I play MJ in MJ the Musical. Yeah, I mean, every time I say it out loud, it's just a whole trip. I grew up with Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson's the reason that I'm here. Yeah, that influenced me in a way that like no other artist has ever influenced me, you know what I'm saying? And the fact that I can say that I'm playing him, and I'm the third person to play him on this very brilliant, iconic show, like, it's a blessing. It's a blessing. I'm very lucky, privileged, so I'm just very taken aback every day that I get to say I do that. I mean, there's always exciting things happening, especially being a standby first, because I was a standby for 2 years prior to me taking over. So like, seeing that difference and like feeling the wear and tear the body and voice takes on after doing however many shows a week, you know what I'm saying? It definitely is a big difference, but it definitely feels like as every single performance, I'm like settling into the role more and more each time. A lot of people come in here before the show and just like say hi and we chat. They sit on the couch, sit in the chair, and just like, you know, fill the space with good energy before the show starts. You know, it's so interesting. It's interesting to be in the room with Rich and Tone because like, yeah, they did dance for Michael. They were like working with him like one-on-one and like making moves with him and trying things out and whatever. So like to get it straight from the source is like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's a big deal. I'm like a sponge in those rooms, taking in as much as I possibly can, cause like, you know, they're the pros. I think the fans' reactions and the anticipation of what they're about to see always gets me amped up. With a role like this, for me, there's always something to prove because you have expectations that are through the roof, right? People are coming into the show expecting Michael Jackson. You gotta show up and show out, you know what I'm saying? So every time I'm backstage, I'm amping myself up. I, of course, get the nerves, but I use it to make sure that like I can guarantee that the audiences are in safe hands because the last thing you want is to come to an MJ show and you be like, that ain't Michael Jackson. I think, yeah, I have a specific moment right before the show starts where Matt kind of leaves for a second. Because Matt also does like, you know, creep his way in through the show here and there for certain things. But as soon as, it's actually during Beat It, right before I walk out into onto the stage, there's like 3 kick drums right back to back, and that's kind of my initial kind of like, all right, it's game time. The intermission looks very different depending on the day. Some days I have a lot of energy that day, and I maybe might go live on Instagram and say what's up to the people. Some days I will sit in silence and just take in what I have to go do, which is Act 2. And if you know Act 2, how it starts, it is 14 minutes of a lot of dancing. It's crazy. I mean, this moment means the world, you know? I grew up wanting to do this, and you know, the fact that I'm doing it, you know, is a dream come true. When I look back at this time, the thing I'm gonna be most proud of is the fact that I was capable of doing something at this caliber. When I came back to audition, I watched the show with Elijah, who I took over for, who was incredible and like a big brother to me in that way. I looked at the show and I looked at him and I said, I'm not capable of doing anything like this right now. You know, I was very much in my own head about like, this is a beast of a show and I've never done anything like this and I don't think I can. And the fact that I've been here for 3 years now and I'm now leading it, I'm just continuing to prove myself wrong, and I'm very grateful that I decided to do this because, yeah, proud of myself in that way. I think MJ's still running because people have attached certain memories to Michael Jackson's music. There was a sense of nostalgia that people long for always. When you walk into this theater, you are taken back to a time where Michael Jackson was, and still is, the #1 artist of all time. You get transported back to 1992, you hear these songs, you attach these feelings to them, you're like, oh my God, remember when this happened, like, that feeling is unprecedented. And you can't get rid of that, so I think that's why people are still coming to this theater.